And hello everyone, it is I, Imma. This is Daya Eating Shifting. And for this vid, this will be me by myself reading a story to you from this book called More Short and Shivery. And I'm reading a story that Ian picked out for me to read. It's called The Vampire Cat. Its origins is Japan. So get ready for this, alright? If I fuck up over a few words, you're just going to have to get over it. There is at least one picture, and I'm going to show you that picture when I get to that picture. Okay? Alright. The Prince of Heizan in Japan once fell in love with a beautiful and intelligent lady of his court named O Toyo. One evening, while the two strolled together in the fragrant palace gardens, the young woman noticed that they were being followed by a large black and white cat. "How pretty!" Otoyo exclaimed. But when she extended when she extended a hand to stroke the cat, it suddenly hissed at her, then ran away. When they parted company a short time later, with soft murmurs of affection, Otoyo returned to her chamber. At midnight, she was suddenly awakened by a strange sound. To her surprise, she discovered the black and white cat had grown to the size of a tiger, crouched in a corner watching her. Before the frightened young woman could cry out, the creature leaped upon her. Breathing in, the demon cat drew the life out of Otoyo, and in an instant it took on her shape. Of the unhappy woman herself, nothing remained but perfumed ashes upon the bedclothes. The bedclothes. These the false Otoyo blew upon and scattered. In the morning, the prince greeted the creature, whose soft voice, loving manner, and sweet laughter were Otoyo's in every regard. They talked of plans for their wedding. Every moment the prince's love grew deeper and deeper. But day by day, the prince felt his strength draining away. His face grew pale, his steps uncertain. He seemed to be suffering from some terrible, wasting sickness. The physicians and herbalists summoned by his counselors prescribed one treatment after another, but nothing helped. The young man grew ever more thin and ashen. He suffered more at night, when his sleep was troubled by hideous dreams. They seemed so real that he told his servants, "Some demon slips into my chamber at night and steals a little of my life energy." To ease their ruler's mind, the councils appointed 100 guards to sit upon and keep watch over the sleeping prince. But curiously, on the very first night that the watch began, the guards were seized by drowsiness. Unable to keep their eyes open, they all quickly fell asleep. In the morning, the council discovered, to their dismay, that the guards slept like the dead, and the prince had grown weaker than ever. Terrible. Really terrible. The guards were punished for failing in their duty, and 100 more were assigned to keep watch the second night. But that night, the same thing happened. The prince was troubled by horrible dreams, while his guards slept helplessly all around him. In despair, the council determined to sit up themselves and see if they could resist the drowsiness that had overcome the prince's soldiers for 2 nights. Yet for all their determination, they fared no better. One by one, they dropped off to sleep long before midnight. The next morning, the prince was so weak he could not rouse himself from his bed. His 3 chief counselors met to discuss the problem, but they could arrive at no solution. It chanced, however, that one of the palace guards, a young man named Ito, overheard their talk. Since it was clear that ever since the prince's wisest advisors were helpless, Ito determined to seek the advice of the priest at the city temple. "Your purpose is a good one," said the priest, "but surely witchcraft is involved." Fuck. If you will give me... Shut up, Ian. If you will give me some way of resisting the drowsiness, said the young soldier, I will sit up with the prince's guards this very night and try to discover the cause of his suffering. Then the priest gave him a bit of parchment with a prayer inscribed on it. He said, recite these words softly if you feel yourself growing drowsy. Then he painted a magical sign on each of Ito's eyelids to help him stay awake. That night, Ito took his place amid the circle of guards surrounding the prince's bed at the center of the room. The 99 others kept themselves awake with lively conversation or other amusements. But as the hour of midnight approached, they began to doze off where they sat, in spite of all their efforts to keep each other awake. Ito also felt a great desire to sleep creeping over him. But he steadfastly placed the prayer, the sutra prayer the priest had given. Fucking sentence. His prayer and his strong will kept him awake while the rest of the guards slept. Then, as he watched the sliding doors of the prince's room parted, Ito pretended to be asleep, but he kept his eyes open just enough to see. To his amazement, he saw the beautiful Lady Otoyo glide into the room. Cautiously, she looked all around. When she saw that the guards were asleep, she smiled an evil smile and approached the prince's bedside. She knelt down as if she would kiss the sleeping man, but when her face was near his, she breathed in, drawing some life energy out of him. At this, Ito stood up suddenly. The false Otoyo likewise rose and turned to face Ito, who had his hand upon the hilt of his dagger. Ignoring the fright, she drew close and said, I am not used to seeing you here. Who are you? My name is Ito, he answered. This is the first night I have been on guard. The other guards are all asleep. How is it that you alone are awake? Prayer and a desire to help my lord, he said. You are a trusty watchman, she said. I came to see how my lord fares this night. I will depart, knowing you are protecting him. You will not depart, goblin, cried Ito, drawing his arrow. I saw you stealing the life from my lord. What's this? No. What's a snarl? The beautiful woman suddenly transformed into a monstrous cat that hissed and snarled and tried to rake. There's a K in there. Ito with his claw. But the soldier fought back with his dirk. The fuck is a dirk?
Dirk is like a dagger or sword or something like that. It's actually a weapon.
Okay, I'll Google that later. For every wound the goblin cat inflicted, the man gave 2 in return. The sound of the fight began to rouse the sleeping guards. Seeing that it was no match for Ito, and fearing that the newly roused soldiers who were crying out alarms and drawing their own weapons, the giant cat suddenly fled the chamber. Ito, yelling to the others to follow him, pursued the creature until it reached the guards. It bounded to the rooftops and escaped over the palace walls. From there, it fled to the mountains from which it had come. Before I continue, here's the picture.
Freaky looking, isn't she?
She ugly. From that moment, the Prince of Heathen began to recover from his sickness, though he mourned the loss of the beautiful Lady Otoyo. When his strength was restored, he raised Ito in rank to commander of the palace guard, and richly rewarded the young man. For a time, reports came daily of the mischief mischief of the cat was of the mischief of the cat the mischief the cat was making among nearby villages. At last the prince ordered Ito to lead a great hunt. After many days, the soldiers cornered and killed the beast. Nor did any other goblin come to Choihizen or its lord after that. And that is it. God, that was terrible. Anyway, bye.